welcome back to Studio 33 Art by Kay. A little while ago I did a lovely 3-cup ring pour and I really liked it, and so today I'd like to do that again, and it's probably more of a pour for the beginners so that you can see how this is done. I'm going to be using the Eraldo di Paolo pouring paints, which are quite thin actually. In fact, I used them for a Dutch pour the other day without adding anything to them, and they were quite okay for the Dutch pour. So they are thinned out a bit. Normally for a ring pour you would probably use something a little bit thicker consistency, but I thought we'll give it a go today, seeing as they are a pouring paint and pre-mixed. So for those of you having trouble with, mixing paints or finding a pouring medium to use, maybe this is something that you could use. So I've got a whole range of colours here. I've got 3 little cups, and I'm going to be mixing 3 colours into each cup, and then I'm going to be pouring them onto the canvas. Now this is a 30 by 40, I believe, canvas, and I've just taped it off on the back to keep it clean. It's just a cheap little canvas that I've picked up from one of the shops, like probably Kmart. Can't remember, but they're great for practicing on, and they also, seem to last the distance as well. So I'm going to be loading up these paints into the little cups, and I'll speed that up while I'm doing it. All the colours will be listed in the description box. So here we go. So I will just mention them actually as I go. So this is the cool yellow. So I'm just going to be layering it into the little cup here. About that much. And then I'm going to put the magenta. Now, if you want the colours to sort of stay separate a little bit, just pour it down the side. If you pour it straight into the middle, it will mix straight away. This is the metallic silver. Now I haven't laid down a base at all. I'll just lay it out again, because I think I'll have enough paint in these little cups to cover the canvas by the time I've loaded 3 of these. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll soon find out. So there's the first little cup, ready to go. So that one, sorry, was the metallic silver. This next one I'm going to layer in the purple, metallic copper, and cool blue. So this is the purple. Just layer about 1 centimetre into the bottom of the cup there. And the copper. I love this copper, it's really nice. Been using a bit of that lately. The metallics are a bit thicker than the other colours. Cool blue. And then I'll put a bit more of the copper to go between the 2 colours. And then the purple. And a little bit more of the blue. So we'll see how these go. They might just all run together and make a big mess, but then at least we'll know. So this is the Cobalt hue. It's quite thin actually. And then I'm following this with the metallic pearl, which I've got in my bottle here that I have added a bit of Floetrol to that previously, just to thin the metallic out. So I'm not sure what difference that will make. We'll soon find out. And this is Deep Sea, a beautiful green colour, which I really love too. And we'll just do a round again of that. Oops. To wipe that off their canvas. Metallic. And the green. Right, so put all those aside. I'll just wipe this off here, it won't matter. They're quite pigmented, these paints, as you can see. It's really soaked in quite well there. So now here we go. So the first one, I'm just going to start, in my mind, divide this by about 3. And I'm going to start in the center of that third. And I'm just going to do little circular motion, which is your ring pour. So now I'm just going to hit this with the heat embossing tool just to break up some of those little bubbles I can see. And here we go. Right, so I'm just going to slowly start to tilt this. So what we've got here, you can see these lines have just looked great. And they were basically the same sort of consistency. Here, the blue was so much more fluid. Oops, I've just made a drip on there. The green's sort of gone to the edge, but the rest of it, there's no lines whatsoever. With the purple, it's pretty much no lines in the middle, but the copper and the blue have, cool blue have made some, there I am dripping in it again, made some beautiful lines there. Okay, so I'm just going to play with that a bit more. Tilt that. It's not great that I got the paint in there. I'll try and get that out. Okay. So, to try and get this to turn into something that's going to look a bit better, I think I might just get a marble and run through it, and that'll bring these colours in through to the others and just sort of bring it all together a bit better. Okay, so I'm just going to run a little glass marble through this just to sort of get the colours to come in together. At the moment, I'm not loving the separation between the colours, but we have learned something, haven't we? You know, that if the colours are the same consistency, you're going to get these beautiful lines, and where one colour was really, really fluid, it's totally taken over. So I'm just going to put this down here and try and, up here, try and bring some of these colours through. Okay, so I'm not loving that at all. Now the colours that I have really liked in there are the purple with the copper and the bit of navy blue there. Looked really nice together. So I might just pour over this, I think. And I'll just get a little cup. And I'm just going to load this up with the purple and the copper and a bit of the cool blue. Actually, I'll put the Cobalt hue in there because that will give more of a contrast. A bit more copper. Purple. Copper's starting to run out. And the blue. Okay, so we've got the blue here already and the purple, so I'm just going to cover this over, even though it gave me beautiful rings. It's just not blending well with the rest of it, so I'm just going to pour literally over the top of this. So you can see how we've got these rings, and it's just a lovely effect, really is. I think I might try and stretch this out a little bit more in that direction instead of this way, take it that way. Might have just about run out of stretch, I think. No, it is moving slowly. So you can play around with your composition when you're doing something like this. It's a lot of fun. It's not too stressful. And what you end up with is always a bit of a surprise. And just play around with your colour combinations and what you know, whatever you're after. So that's just stretching down still, which is fine. It looks fine. Okay. I should have some push pins underneath this, and I haven't, but I'll be putting this up on cups to dry. Just loving that, what was that one? The purple and the cobalt hue together, and just that little bit of copper coming through. You can't see the shimmer from here, but it is quite shimmery. I'd like to get rid of that. It's more than one way to get rid of something, isn't there? Might put a little bit of copper in there just to fill in that gap a bit. And that will now blend in through. And I'll tilt that again. So what I'd like to do now, I'm just playing now. I don't love this bit here where it's completely blue. So I'll just get another clean cup, and I'm just going to put a bit more copper into that with a bit more of the blue. Now the blue is very, very runny, so I don't need much in there. Just put a little bit. If I've got any of the copper left. Sorry, I'm out of your view there. And then I'll put a little bit of that purple in there. Don't need too much. Just want to bring a bit more of interest into that corner. Really loving this. And I'm just going to do the small ring here. Hopefully maintain some of that copper. And give that a bit of a tilt. So you can just sort of keep adding things, tilting things off that you don't like. Just working it however you want. I'm going to get that bit of green off that I don't particularly want in there now. But this is mainly the purple and the cobalt hue. Yeah, that's nice. Try and cover that bit of green. Get that to roll through. And off to the corner if possible. Nearly there. Okay, so just a tiny bit of that green in there, but that's okay. So I'm quite liking that now. Oops, the marble's still there. Okay, so there's a ring pour for you. You can do it as one ring in the center and spread it out. When you're doing that, you normally would need to put a bit of a base paint, or at least into the corners, to get it to spread. But because I did the 3 cups, I knew I was going to have plenty of paint on there, so I didn't need to use a base to help that to move. But I'm quite liking that for a ring pour. I think that's really pretty. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed that one today, guys. It was just to show you a basic ring pour. And I'll bring you down for a close-up. Okay, so here we are for our triple ring pour, which ended up with another couple of ring pours on top of the other one. It just goes to show that you can keep moving on until you get something that you like. So most of this is the Eraldo di Paolo pouring paint purple, and also the cobalt hue mixed with a bit of copper, and there's a few other bits and pieces in between. But as you can see, it's just got some beautiful rivers here of colour. The blue hue was cobalt hue was a little bit thin, but there are still rings in there. So some of it still held its shape, even though that paint was so thin. So there you have it, guys. That was the ring pour. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Have a go with that. You can have a lot of fun just playing with your different colours and trying different patterns with that. So hopefully you enjoyed that one today. And I'll see you back here in Studio 33 in the not too distant future. Until then, stay safe. Bye bye.